How do you use a pipe threading machine? Today, I'm going to be showing you how to use Bluerock's PTM 300 pipe threading machine kit. I'm going to show you what this machine can do for cutting, reaming, and threading pipe, and I'm going to explain to you all the components so you're well versed in this pipe threading machine. You're watching HVAC Tips for Technicians. I'm Tad. This is Taddy Digest. Let's get started. First step of being able to use a pipe threading machine is knowing all of the components' names and what they look like. So let's go over the whole setup first. So what we've got is our stand, right? This is what holds the power drive. This is the main power drive, and this is our front and our back chuck. This is our clamping devices. Then we've got our carriage rails, what our carriage slides onto. This carriage assembly holds our three main tools, which is our tubing cutter. This is our cutter. This is our die head assembly with our 4 cutting dies, has a sizing bar on top, and then we've got our reaming tool. You can also see that there is a lever right here on the end, and this is what brings that carriage back and forth on the rails as we're using the die head assembly to thread our pipe. Then we've got our oil pump right here. We got a hand pump, and then we've got our oil bucket, which contains our oil. Then we've got a foot switch and our main power cord, which is a heavy duty power cord, 110 volt. On the power drive itself right here, we've got our operating switch. So we can see it's got off, 4 for forward position, and rev for reverse position. You can see it's 1500 watt, universal type, 110 volt. This is our model. It's the PTM 300, and this, it says for mounting width, threading part 1/2 inch to 2 inch, grooving part 1 1/4 to 12 inch. So we've got a grooving attachment, a groove tool attachment that we can use, and I'm actually going to do a video about that, and I'll have that in the link in the description. The last piece that comes with this thread machine kit is another set of dies, because of course we have 2 sets of dies. One set of dies does from 1/2 inch to 3/4, and the other set of dies does from 1 inch to 2 inch. I think I covered all of the components. We also have a T-transport, so if we want to transport this from job site to job site, and that roll grooving tool attachment, but I'm not going to show you that in today's video. I will show you that in a later video. Go check out the link in the description. Before you get started, safety first. Make sure you have some safety gloves. Make sure you have some safety glasses. Now, before we can use the machine, we got to have the right cutting oil. Where does the cutting oil go? It goes in the bottom of this bucket. So pick this part up, which is the screen. Make sure you fill up the oil to either a level with that tube or fill it up over that little tube that you see looks like a screen in the bottom of this oiling bucket. Make sure you use the right thread cutting oil. This is what it should be. It should be a dark thread cutting oil. That way we have good performance. That way we have good threads. If you try to use vacuum pump oil, gear oil, or motor oil, you may not have good performance. You may not have a good thread. So make sure you use the right cutting oil. Now you know about safety. Now you know what oil you should be using. Now it's time to cut, ream, and thread some pipe. So we got to make sure that we open up our front and our rear chuck. That way we can actually insert the pipe into our machine. Now I've already installed my dies into my die head assembly, and I went with the 1 inch to 2 inch instead of the 1/2 inch to 3/4. If you want to know how to change the dies in the die head assembly, I've got a video down below in the description. Go click that link and learn more about how to actually change out your dies in the die head assembly. Now, what do we want to do? We want to do probably some 1.5 inches. Let's do some 1.5 inches. So how long do we want this? You need a tape measure. Let's measure it out. We're going to cut one end of this off. This is about 38 inches. So I think we're going to do about 30. So right there where that T is, I'm going to mark that with a marker. So there's the T. Put a nice mark with our marker. All right. Slide this in through the rear chuck, and it should come out the front chuck. Where's that T at? There's the mark with our marker. Now close the chuck. Make sure it's nice and tight. Back chuck, nice and tight. Now we're going to take and lower the cutter down to the ready position. Go to where our mark is, tighten it up to where it's barely tight on that pipe. This is 1.5 inch black iron that we are cutting today. And now that we've got it lined up where our mark is, we're going to begin to tighten up by turning this lever as we push down our foot pedal. Now we've got the switch in the forward position. My foot is on the foot pedal. I'm going to push that foot pedal. The machine's going to turn. We're going to grab the feed handle for the tubing cutter and we're going to turn it to the right. That's going to cut the pipe. Let's go. Oh yeah. Now we've cut the pipe where we marked it. Now we're going to take our reaming tool and bring it down into the ready position. We're going to push this piece, bring it in, it locks, and then we're going to take the lever that moves the carriage and we're going to move it up to the pipe. Make sure this is tight and that it's clamped onto the pipe, and then we're going to apply just a little bit of pressure and we're going to smooth out the inside of this pipe. So foot on the foot switch, push it in. Look at that. Look at that smooth inside surface. Nice. Now that we've reamed the inside of the pipe, we're going to bring the reaming tool back out, move it into the up position. I'm going to bring the carriage back a little bit. Then I'm going to take the die head assembly and I'm going to bring it down into the ready position. Then I'm going to loosen up the clamp lever, and then I'm going to take the throw out lever to the closed position. Then we're going to take this little mark here and line it up with the size of the pipe that we're going to be threading. So we are going to be threading 1.5 inches. So right here, make sure the throw out lever's in the closed position. The lines match up. Now tighten the clamp lever back down. It's in the closed position, so if we open it back up, then it's not going to fit around our pipe. Close it back down, it's going to fit around our pipe. So if we move it back up to the pipe, you can see how we are going to be threading, and it is the right size. So you can see how it's matching up. If I open it, look how it opens. And then you can just slide it right over the pipe. Let's go back, close it back down, slide it back up. This is what it should look like. That's going to work. Now we're ready to thread. So what we're going to do is make sure that our chuck is tight, front and back. They're tight. It's set to 1.5 inches. We're going to make sure the switch is in the forward position. It's in the forward position. Then we're going to bring our carriage up to where our teeth right here, our dies, meet the end of our pipe that we're threading. I'm going to go ahead and take and put some oil right there on the pipe. And then when we go to thread this pipe, this black iron, a couple things you want to do. You want to make sure that you have a constant amount of oil on that pipe, on those threads. And then you want to make sure that you are pressing against this lever. That way you go into the pipe and it actually starts threading. So we're going to go ahead and press this switch and start threading. Looking good so far. Usually stop at the end of the dies, right there or a little bit past. Now, the next really important step. Now, after you finish threading your pipe, I never open the throw out lever and just try to remove the die head from the threads. I always like to take put the switch in the reverse position, and then I like to take and put a little oil on the threads, and then I like to run the machine in reverse to remove some of these debris. So I've got it in reverse. Now I'm going to put my foot on the switch, and it's going to go in reverse, and then we're going to come off of the end of the pipe with our die head assembly. Put a little more oil on there. There we go. The next step is I have a bucket with some towels, and I like to put it over the threads and then run the machine. There we go. And if you take a look at those threads look pretty good. Look at that. Let's look at the other side, or all the way around. Yep, looks really good. Now the moment of truth. Take our die head assembly, put it in the up position. Let's grab a fitting. Is the fitting able to be hand threaded on? 1, 2, 3. Wow, nice. That is how you cut, ream, and thread black iron with the PTM 300 Blue Rock tools. Now, one thing I got to show you, of course, before I end this video is you want to open up the front and the rear chucks. Take the pipe out. There's oil that's left over inside the pipe. I just take it and I drip it back into the bucket. Then I do a little bit more cleanup. One thing also that you can do that I didn't show you is you can actually put it back in the machine. You can put your pipe thread sealant on the pipe, right? And then you can take and put an elbow on here. Say you wanted to put an elbow on this piece. Grab another piece of 1.5 inches, and then you could screw it in a little bit and then hit your switch, and then it's going to tighten up that elbow for you. So that's something that's really cool that we do just to get a fitting on there. Now, make sure you go check out the links in the description, because you'll want to know how to use the groove roller attachment. I've got the groove roller attachment video. I've got the video on how to change the dies in the die head assembly. And then of course there's a couple short videos showing you why I got this over the rigid threader. One thing I want to mention is that if you're working with a very long piece of pipe, say 20 feet, make sure you get a stand to hold it back here. That way it doesn't affect the threading of the machine. Now, I haven't showed you where I got this, so let me do that real quick. I'm on BlueRockTools.com. This is where I got the machine. I'm actually on the page where I purchased my machine, and it says this is the Bluerock PTM 300 pipe threading kit. It includes the power drive, the threading kit assembly, the oiler bucket, and the tripod stand. And it was $21.99 plus tax, but it's free shipping. So you can see a picture of the machine that we've got here today. And if we scroll down, you can see the portable wheel kit option. The T-Transport is $93. And then you can get an extra 811A die head holder assembly, 129 bucks. That's always good to have. And then I got the roll groover kit, right? That roll grooving attachment, and it was $329. Now I was considering another machine, and I'm gonna show you that and explain to you why this was the choice. Now here's the other choice. I was looking at the Model 300 rigid, right? We've got the same exact setup, but it's more than $5,500. So plus tax, we're looking at $6 grand. So double the price for pretty much the exact same thing. And that's the reason. It's just all came down to price. I mean, I could get 2 of these for the price of one of these rigid 300s. Hope you enjoyed today's video. Hope you learned something. If you did learn something, let me know what it was in the comments. Remember, questions can lead to new content, so put your questions down below. But if you don't have a question, that's okay. Let me know who you are and let me know where you're from. You want more videos like this? Go check out my playlist, HVAC Tips for Technicians. I've got hundreds of videos of live experience in the field as a technician to help you be a better technician. If you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe, and smash that bell. ding, so you know what I'm doing. You've been watching Taddy Digest. I'm Tad. This was HVAC Tips for Technicians, and I'll keep you cool if you let me.